one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You view this season as a failure?
Oh my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price. So I pulled people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged.
Yo, we got some things to talk about, man. Welcome back to Kicking It with Saint. Happy people, yeah. Oh, whoa. My fault. As I sung that, I realized some people don't like R. Kelly. Now listen, just because I can separate the man from the music don't mean everybody else can. So apologies. Only thing I ask is that instead of y'all throwing heavy stones at me, somebody pray for me. Oh, how I wish that I could hold you now. Oh, somehow I know. Yo, my fault, man. But stop playing, bro. R. Kelly be hitting them ad-libs and shit. It's crazy. But listen, bro, how's everybody's day going, man? How? It's nighttime. Listen, if you hear something in the back, which I'm pretty sure you will, you'll hear it for a ton of reasons. You know what I'm saying? We could state the obvious. Oh, he ain't got the greatest setup. Oh, he ain't got the greatest mic. We could do all that. But the biggest reason you hear what you hear is because it is two fans in my background, because it's hot as hell in this room that I'm recording in. Point blank, period. I ain't turning them off. It's not going to happen. And I got a chipped tooth that keep cutting my tongue. So I should be a bit irritated. But I'm not. I am about to take this hit though. So yo, let's get ready, bro. Just sit back, chill out, relax. We gotta talk about the boy, Dame Dollar, after I take a hit. Bro, y'all should really check out that show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, bro. It's a great show. Hilarious. I lost the remote that I was using. And just like that, I found it. But listen, y'all should check out that show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, bro. You should, show is hilarious. But listen, we got other things to talk about. We got to talk about Dame Dollar. So as you know, the Portland Trail Blazers drafted Scoot Henderson, number 3 overall in the draft. This video not really about Scoot Henderson. We might talk about him here and there, but this ain't really about Scoot Henderson. And I don't mind. Like, I feel like the Blazers did exactly what the best move that they could have done to make their team better was drafting Scoot. I don't think it was a trade out there for him that could have made their team drastically better with Dame. So, listen, I'm not mad about nothing that Portland doing, to be honest with you. The question come in with Dame, because there's a lot of conversations going on with Dame. But the first thing that I want to say is this. At some point in time, Dame's desire to win a championship is going to have to be greater than his what I want to call it. His desire to win a championship is going to have to be greater than him caring about what people say about how he won a championship, who he win the championship with. Legacy talk from other people gotta not. It can't matter as much as winning a championship to him. If that never become the case, then Dame probably will never leave Portland, because it feel like Dame is the type of player right now. It feel like he in a situation where he just don't want to become a bad guy. He don't want to be looked at as a bad guy. He don't want to be looked at as a guy who had to go join other people to win a championship. It feel like he don't want to get caught in these conversations that Charles Barkley constantly have about Kevin Durant, the bus driver, and him needing it. You know what I'm saying? The beauty in that, however, is Kevin Durant, I feel like, done figured out who he is. He is an assassin scorer. He is not leading a team to a championship on his own or as the leader. He got to have guys around him who is equally as talented or just as talented. But that's everybody. That's every team. But as far as being the leader, the driving force of a team, I just don't feel like he want to get caught up in that conversation of, was he a big part? Did he play a role? Did he get carried? And until Dame Lillard just don't give a damn about none of that, then we going to continue to have this conversation every year until he traded, bro. Point blank period. Because I truly believe if Dame really wanted to go chase, and that's the thing, bro, people, it's almost as if he feel like when people say he going to chase a championship. I hate the notion that chasing a championship is a bad thing is ridiculous to me. Because for one, dudes who not superstars do it all the time. That's one. Two, the point of this sport is to win a championship. That's the goal every year. Chasing a championship is literally what you would want a player to do. And mind you, fans don't care until you join a team. So people would hate on, it's like people hated on Kevin Durant until he joined a team. Then those fan bases shut the hell up. So at some point in time, Dame Lillard's, he just can't care about all that stuff. And the desire to win got to be greater than what anybody could say about him. Point blank period. And until that happened, I just don't think he'll leave. But surrounding the Dame Lillard situation, because I do think he in an interesting situation, but I don't think it's necessarily Dame's fault. Now, I told you what he can do about the situation mentally. However, Dame is in a weird situation because I don't think Portland have been a championship at no championship roster at any point in time, and since Dame done been there. They done had a lot of great teams. They done had a lot of teams that could have been championship teams with an extra piece, but nobody want to play in Portland. I don't even know if it's that they just don't want to play in Portland, or if that's just not a team that people, if it's the city, if it's the team, if it's the organization, If it's the state of Oregon, I don't know what it is. But they don't land the big-time players. They got to draft them. The problem is they can't seem to get them all in there at the same time. And when they do, it's another team in the West just as good. Portland is stuck in this spot where they're not bad, they're not good, but they're in the middle. That's the worst place you can be in mostly any sport. And Portland have been in that situation since basically Dame's entire career. They've been stuck in the middle. They're not the worst team in order to get a top-tier draft pick. They're not the best team to where they win in championships or constantly in the championship conversation. Now, obviously, you say they have a chance because of our respect for Dame Lillard. But Portland ain't never, in my opinion, been a legitimate championship team. They've never had the wing player in order to be competitive enough to beat some of these other teams. And as good as Dame shoot, CJ McCollum, in my opinion, is one of them players who people overhyped, especially the media, because he played beside a dude like Dame Lillard. You said, I used to hate it when people say, Dame and CJ basically the same players. They are not. CJ McCollum do things that Dame do to a far lesser degree. They are not the same player. So I always got irritated when they said that. But my biggest problem is having both of them in the backcourt. As many points as they can score, you get no defense from them. Bigger guards and bigger and wings figure ways out how to. You don't even got to stop Dame. Stop CJ. It's no other real scorers on the team. So Portland is just in a weird spot because when you stuck in the spot they in and you don't get the good draft picks, you don't luck up by finding the pieces in the draft like LA done over the last couple years, and you don't get free agents. So you literally have no way to make your team better. You just got to hope every year that either you just hit that, you have an amazing year, or you find ways to sign role players that make huge impacts, like the Denver Nuggets, the Warriors at one point in time. All these teams that sign these role players that make a difference. At this, it just feel like Portland can't do none of that. And it's a weird spot that he in because I don't feel like it's anything Dame can do, or Portland for that matter, to really make this team better. Aside from one thing, restarting the whole thing. I feel like Portland understand at this moment, they cannot win a championship with Dame Lillard. It's not going to happen. And it's not because of what Dame cannot do. It's that they just cannot get the roster around him right now. And I done heard the reports that, listen, Portland's GM not going to just go into his front office tomorrow and say, yeah, let me find trades for Dame Lillard. Dame got to go to him and want that. And I respect that. I really do. But this is the situation. See, this is the funny thing about this whole Portland Dame situation, right? Because Portland have to do what's best for the team. And I feel like they've been doing what's best for the team while trying to do what's best for Dame Lillard. This is the problem in the situation they're going to get caught in. Selling too late for a depreciating asset. And I hate talking about players like that. I really do, because these is human beings. But Dame Lillard is not going to be the same player forever. And at some point in time, Dame going to have to understand that also. Now, these are the two situations. I mean, these are the two type of players I feel like Dame need to take a look at. Because I feel like he's fearful of becoming a KD. People going to hate, which is insane that Dame think that. That he would become a KD. People would hate on him. People call him different names, say he took the easy way out and all these other type of things. Or you could just look at the way Kevin Garnett, the path he took, and he was loyal to the soil, to the Timberwolves. They were never winning. That's got nothing to do with KG's greatness. KG was great. Dame is great. But it's just not happening in Portland like it wasn't happening in Minnesota. And KG always say his biggest regret is not getting to Boston quicker. In actuality, it probably should have been Kobe not picking up that phone call. But nonetheless, he realized what being in a winning organization, playing for a championship, winning a championship did for his legacy, did for him as a person. I think one of the weird things in sports right now, well, at least in the NBA, is Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant is a weird player. While I said I like the fact that I feel like Kevin Durant know what he is, it's a kind of a problem with some of the things that kept. So when Kevin Durant won a championship with the Warriors, it was all this news about him not being fulfilled and it didn't do much for his. You know, Kevin Durant don't really act as if a dude who proud of winning titles and things like. And that's to Kevin Durant. I'm pretty sure he proud, but he don't act as it like a Steph Curry, like a LeBron James. Like, these shits mean everything to me. And I think that's done swayed people a bit and athletes to a sense. Like, it's a lot of truth to some of the things KD tweet, especially when people come for him and his legacy. But it's a lot of nonsense in there also. Dame have to understand he would be viewed. I don't have a problem with what Kevin Durant did. I think it's wild. The notion that you could be mad at players joining forces is wild to me when every team in the history of the NBA was a great team and it was 2 or more dudes on that team that was great players. Not only that, organizations put together top tier talent all the time. All the time. So I think it's wild that players shouldn't be allowed to do the same thing. Now, my problem with Kevin Durant, or not even a problem, where me and Kevin Durant part ways is the accountability issue. I don't think Kevin Durant take too much accountability, or end up to be fair, the media don't really give him too much accountability. They blame everybody else, but that's where we split. If you give the players ultimate control, you cannot then say, well, bruh, if we have the control now, we can't take the blame. Also, every time I see players do what Dame Lillard, the situation Dame Lillard in, where this negative connotation on player movement and things. And I know it was a player who created the free agency thing, and shout out to him. I can't remember his name at the moment, but to LeBron James, the player in my lifetime who made it where players no longer had to put up with the shit of the organization. You cannot put a championship team around me. I am going to make a way for me to win a championship. Every time people do this shit that Dame in the situation, it's just a spit at LeBron. Such a shame. Because when LeBron went to Miami, one of the greatest players I've ever seen in this lifetime, it was Miami LeBron, number 6. Just unreal. That wasn't just for Bron. That was for players to start making the decision. Go. If you really, but see, this is the thing. People love to give backlash, hate on LeBron for that. But this is the thing that people forget. And this is not often stated. In order to make that move that LeBron made, you can't just want to have the freedom to go and all this shit. You got to have one thing over everything else. Because LeBron didn't just go make that move because he was tired of being in Cleveland. He didn't make that move because he didn't like being in Cleveland. LeBron made that move because his desire to win a championship was far outweighed anything somebody could say about how he won the championship. Soon as LeBron made that decision that I care more about winning a championship than I care about what anybody have to say about it, that's when LeBron became King James. That's when he became a legend. Until Dame, see, right now Dame is a great player. Hall of Famer. But he ain't on that level of a Steph Curry, a LeBron James, a Kobe Bryant, a Michael Jordan, a Tim Duncan, a Shaq. You know what I'm saying? But he can get there soon as that. And I listen, I'm not questioning Dame's desire to win. I'm just telling you how I feel about the situation. At some point in time, that desire got to outweigh everything else if you really want to win that championship. It just is what it is. And like I said, he would be viewed in the Kevin Garnett space. Now, another thing when it comes to this situation, because the negative side of this situation is that the media create these heroes and villains. You get these sport analysts and these old dudes who always say, you know, back in my day, we didn't team up and all this goofy shit. At some point in time, I did say you got to not care about that. But at some point in time, somebody got to correct these motherfuckers on TV. Every championship team in the NBA was a 2-star studded team or more. They love to talk about LA and the Celtics. 2 teams that had multiple Hall of Famers walking littered throughout the rosters. But you go at these dudes, and it's so crazy to me in an era of mental health awareness and whatnot. It's so easy to go at these players for teaming up just because you get mad because you feel like it don't give your team a chance to win. It's wild how that works. Nonetheless, I doubt that the media will ever be addressed for how they create these heroes and villains, especially when dudes just go out there and do what's in their free will. They get drafted to these teams. They owe these teams nothing. If you give everything you have to a team after they draft you before free agency come up, you owe these teams nothing. You had no choice in being drafted. You did what you had to do in order to make yourself a commodity for a team to want to draft you. And then you had to do that hard work to earn that bread and whatnot. So you owe the team that drafted you, that's nonsense. That's spoken by losers. Only losers say goofy shit like that. That's not how business, the real world, or sports work. That debt was paid tenfold when these athletes give you everything they got. But for Dame, I do want to see him win, but I'm not on that bandwagon of people who feel like it's his birthright to win a championship. I do feel like, I'm one of those players who want to see great players win, but I want to see great players who want to win. You know what I'm saying? I understand Dame want to win. I don't know how bad he want to win. Chris Paul is a dude who I know want to win. I was heavily invested in seeing, now I don't know if it'll happen now, but Chris Paul's chase to try to win a championship was hella impressive. LeBron. Listen, everybody can't beat Kobe and Curry and stay in one position, in one location, and Tim Duncan. It required the organization to be phenomenal for stints of time. Things that the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Spurs were. And I'm not taking a shot at the Trailblazers. They ain't those organizations. For one, they don't have the luxury of being in California, in the Bay Area, San Francisco area, or in LA. They just don't. And you don't have the brilliance of R.C. Buford and Pop in San Antonio. So, listen, the way this situation, I think, ends for Portland, I do think Dame will eventually be traded. Because this is my thing. At the end of your career, what else could you possibly be playing for? You done made a shit ton of money. And while I don't think I'm not one of them people who say, oh, you done made too much money. Nah, you can continue to make a shit ton of money. That shit matters. But what I'm saying is, as somebody in Dame's caliber, the money not going to stop rolling in no time soon. You're going to be paid highly. You're going to be a highly paid player for probably the next 5-6 years. If you only doing this, like, it become a thing where people, now I believe the longer Dame stay there, people going to start turning negative towards it. I'm like, why would a talent like this refuse to go make a way to win championships after Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, all these other type of players done left to go win God forbid Giannis end up out of Milwaukee before Dame Lillard end out. My goodness. Now, wouldn't that be interesting if he found a way to get to Milwaukee? If they found a way to make a trade for Dame Lillard. But, and listen, we could possibly be having this conversation in a couple years when it come to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the difference between Dame and Giannis, I feel like Giannis, as unfair as it may be, it's a greater burden on him to continue to be great, to continue to win, because he already done it. The heights that Giannis has already reached, as unfair as it may be, is how he is now going to be judged. Dame ain't hit them heights. As great as Dame is, he ain't in that caliber of a Giannis Antetokounmpo. And so, I know for a fact, I feel, and I know that's crazy to say I know for a fact and I say I feel, that's a contradiction right there. But I feel as though, I strongly feel as though Giannis Antetokounmpo, if he start to look around this Milwaukee organization and realize, bro, I have no shot at winning a championship and people around me keep getting better, he ain't staying in Milwaukee. He done already won a championship, already done been a multiple-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, won a championship. It's no way that taste, feeling that, it's no way he gonna be satisfied playing for nothing the rest of his career. Which is why I can't wait to see the next part of Giannis Antetokounmpo's career, because that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. I want to see legends win, but I want to see legends who want to win. I know for a fact Giannis is gonna do everything in his power to try to win. Giannis probably shouldn't have played in this playoff series against Miami, but he had to. He knew he didn't have to. I never put an athlete. I'm never gonna be the dude who tell an athlete, bruh, everything is on the line for us right now. You have to play. Bruh, that man could play right there and end up being like RG3. Now, RG3 got lucky and where that injury cost him his career, but not his livelihood. So I'm never going to be a person who say that to an athlete. Giannis had something in him that willed him to play. I know Giannis wants to win a championship. I refuse to believe Giannis will stay in Milwaukee if he sees no other way to win. Giannis could have left before. He still saw a way to win. He still had that burning desire to lead a championship. And I understand that's probably something Dame had. But Dame have to understand at some point in time, logic and reality got to set in. I cannot do it alone. And I don't have the capabilities of a Giannis Antetokounmpo to do it alone. And as good as Dame is at what he does, he ain't the Steph Curry of what he does. Dame need help. Dame might have to realize, and I hate this for Dame because I know this is an ego thing more than not. He might have to be a 2 for somebody in order to win. But why wouldn't he just look at it as Kobe and Shaq had to win with each other? Like 1A, 1B, or whatever that dumb shit is. People it's a tricky situation. And I really don't know how you fix it. But if you're the Portland Trail Blazers, the only way you really get this team to a team, you won't be probably competing anytime soon. But the next iteration of the Portland Trail Blazers is going to have to start sooner or later. And Scoot Henderson need the ball. Scoot Henderson need the room to evolve and become the next franchise guy for the Trailblazers. So it's a great chance that Dame Lillard will eventually be traded. Now, I'm not finna waste my time making a video yet on where will Dame Lillard end up, where should he go. That'll just be something I speak of throughout other videos. Once we know for a fact that Dame Lillard has requested a trade, meaning Woj or Shams need to report it, then we off and running. Until that point, until then, I will probably end up releasing a video on how Scoot Henderson and Dame Lillard will match up in Portland as the new duo in Portland. But hey, I'm very interested to see how that play out. But aside from that, listen, bro. I know y'all want Dame to go play for a contender. I know y'all want him to demand a trade. But right now, his desire to win that championship by any means necessary it's not outweighing all that other shit. But also, before we sign off on this, shout out to Neil Everett. He a ESPN Sports anchor on Sports Center Los Angeles at night. It was him and Stan Verrett. Neil Everett and Stan Verrett used to do Sports Center at night on LA all the time. I used to watch that shit all the time in high school and college, late at night after a late LA game. I think he one of the best analysts or sports commentators or whatever you want to call him I done ever seen on ESPN. Shout out to him on a phenomenal run at ESPN. Stan, you are the man, as corny as that may sound. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody you fuck with them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Chase a dream. Love somebody. Go be loved by somebody. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking the something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.